It might sound unbelievable, but the lives of the Waorani tribe and nature seem inseparable. They gather and enjoy a daily feast of monkey meat. In a place where women wear eye-catching bikinis made from leaves, they turn the forest into their personal wardrobe. Waorani women also love to adorn themselves with large earrings. The bigger the earrings, the more attractive they are to men. And what would you think if I told you that most people here have six-toed feet? Join me in exploring the fascinating culture of the Waorani, uncovering the secrets that few outsiders have ever witnessed. No bustling cities, no smartphones, and no electricity. Instead, their world is the dense green of the rainforest, alive with the sounds of birds and animals, and this is Waorani themselves, who've thrived deep in the Amazon jungle of Ecuador. Unlike the Himba tribe in Namibia, who wear a simple cowhide wrap, the Waorani people have a different approach. Their traditional clothing is a kind of natural bikini entirely handmade from leaves and fibers. Men, women, and even children wear what is called a komi, a string tied around their bodies, but it's not just for covering. For men, it holds a deeper significance. It is believed to symbolize strength, vitality, and power. Women and children also wear komi, though theirs are thinner and less symbolic. The girls, before they begin wearing komi, use leaves to cover their bodies. The image of a tribe living in such harmony with nature, dressed in what the jungle provides, speaks volumes about their connection to the environment and their ancient customs. What do you think about the Waorani lifestyle? Would you feel confident wearing a bikini like the Waorani out in public? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Due to a long-standing tradition of tree climbing, an essential skill in their daily life, the Waorani people have experienced physical adaptations in their feet. The tribe primarily depends on gathering monkeys and other small game, using spears and blowguns as key tools in their food acquisition. A combination of limited genetic diversity, regular exposure to challenging environments, and the need to climb trees has contributed to their feet becoming flatter over time. Interestingly, some individuals in the tribe exhibit 6 toes on each foot and 6 functional fingers on each hand. What's particularly fascinating is that the structure of their feet changes throughout life, starting with straight toes at birth and gradually adapting as they age. This is not the only example of human adaptation to harsh environments. Across the world, in places like the Malaysian rainforests and the colder regions of Northern Europe, people have evolved in extraordinary ways to survive their surroundings. For instance, the sea nomads of Malaysia have developed the ability to hold their breath for extended periods, allowing them to gather pearls from underwater. Likewise, early Northern Europeans evolved lighter skin to absorb more vitamin D, an adaptation to living in areas with limited sunlight. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in total harmony with nature? The Waorani tribe of the Amazon jungle offers a glimpse into a way of life so deeply connected to the environment that it's almost impossible to separate one from the other. The Waorani lead a semi-nomadic lifestyle, constantly on the move depending on the seasons, gathering patterns and food availability. They know which areas of the jungle will bear fruit during certain times of the year, where animals migrate, and how the ecosystem shifts with the weather. For them, the Amazon is not just a home, it's a living, breathing entity that demands respect and care. Their knowledge of the plants around them is nothing short of extraordinary. To an outsider, the dense greenery might seem like an impenetrable mass, but to the Waorani, each plant holds its own significance. They've mastered the use of medicinal plants to treat a wide array of ailments. Need to heal a wound. They know which leaves can act as natural bandages. Struggling with digestion, they can find a plant that works better than any over-the-counter remedy. Their connection to the earth isn't just physical, it's medicinal, spiritual, and essential. Mitch Anderson, the founder of the non-profit organization Amazon Frontlines, who has spent years working with the Waorani. Anderson shares how the Waorani's deep knowledge of the jungle is unlike anything he's ever witnessed. In an interview, he recalls how Waorani women easily identified medicinal plants, showing him remedies for everything, things Anderson says would take a botanist years to understand. This shows just how much of the tribe's daily life depends on the plants around them. Another explorer, Joe Kane, who documented his journey with the Waorani in the book Savages, spoke about their exceptional gathering skills and their ability to move through the jungle. Kane describes how Waorani hunters, equipped only with primitive materials, navigate the forest. He also details their extraordinary knowledge of animal behavior and the rhythms of the jungle, which allows them to blend seamlessly into their surroundings when they traverse the jungle. Kane's observations highlight how the Waorani's deep connection with nature is a survival skill refined and honed over centuries. Do you remember when I mentioned earlier that the daily life of the Waorani people involves gathering and enjoying monkey feasts? So, how are these feasts prepared, and what happens during them? I'm about to reveal all. But before we get started, I have a 10-second request for all of you. If you can help us out, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll always be the first to get our new videos and exciting content. This would mean a lot to us. In return, we promise to keep making this show even better for you. Deal? The Waorani people are renowned for their gathering skills, particularly in the lush lands of the tropical rainforest. One of their primary targets is monkeys, an important source of protein. Using traditional techniques and simple tools, the Waorani have honed their craft over generations. Gatherings are not just survival skills for the Waorani, they are deeply tied to their philosophy of life. They view the animals in the forest as companions on their journey. After a successful hunt, the Waorani prepare and enjoy their food. The preparation methods are fairly simple but ensure the nutritional value and natural flavors of the food are preserved, and perhaps its taste will leave you longing for more. Beyond the nutritional aspect, gathering and food preparation are sometimes linked to festivals and religious ceremonies. These occasions are held to express gratitude to nature and the forest animals, while also reaffirming the close relationship between the people and their environment. The Waorani believe that consuming this food grants them strength and wisdom, helping them live in harmony and thrive in the forest. The Hadza people of Tanzania are one of the last gatherer tribes on Earth. Like the Waorani, they also lead a nomadic lifestyle, but when it comes to monkey gathering, the Hadza men aren't just skilled, they're true professionals. So how do they prepare and enjoy this dish? I bet you've never heard of it before. But don't worry, we've revealed it all in the video Feast on Monkeys and Life with Multiple Wives of the Hadza tribe travel documentary. It only takes 2 seconds to click the video, and you'll have a treasure trove of fascinating information. The Waorani tribe's approach to relationships and sexuality stands in sharp contrast to the norms of many Western societies. In their culture, intimacy is not shrouded in secrecy or limited by rigid social rules. Instead, it is viewed as a natural, open aspect of life, free from many stigmas that often accompany discussions of sexuality elsewhere. For the Waorani, premarital relationships are not just accepted, they are commonplace. Both men and women have the freedom to explore connections before entering marriage. While the Waorani embrace a more open view of sexuality, they also place significant importance on the bonds of marriage and loyalty. Navigating these boundaries is crucial, as stepping outside of them can lead to serious challenges within relationships. A key aspect of Waorani relationships is the strong emphasis on family and fertility. Children hold great value, and ensuring the continuation of the family line is a primary focus for many couples. Unlike in some Western cultures, where personal ambitions or career aspirations may take precedence, the Waorani view raising children as an essential part of life's journey. How do you think this approach compares to what we see in our own societies? Would this open view on relationships work in today's world, or is it too far removed from the norms we're used to? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Waorani's open views on relationships are just the beginning. Wait until you discover how their unique marriage customs and family roles shape their entire way of life. Traditionally, Waorani marriages are often arranged within family groups. It's not uncommon for marriages to take place between cousins or other close relatives, helping to preserve the bonds of the clan and maintain the integrity of the tribe's social structure. In certain groups, a man may have more than one wife, though this practice varies across different Waorani communities. Polygamous relationships often serve practical purposes. More wives can mean more hands to help with gathering and raising children, which are essential for thriving in the dense Amazon rainforest. The idea of communal child rearing is deeply embedded in their way of life. Elders, aunts, uncles, and cousins all play a role in educating the young, especially when it comes to the essential skills required in the forest. This communal structure not only strengthens family bonds but also ensures that essential knowledge and traditions are preserved. The Waorani see their family and community as their greatest assets. In Waorani culture, women play a central role in the preparation of chicha. This fermented beverage, deeply rooted in the daily life of the Waorani people, is made from cassava, a starchy root vegetable that grows abundantly in the region. What sets this beverage apart is the method of fermentation. The cassava is peeled, boiled, and then chewed by women before being spat into a large container. It might sound strange to outsiders, but this chewing process breaks down the starches in the cassava, kickstarting the fermentation process. Once it's all gathered, the mixture is left to ferment, transforming into a mildly alcoholic drink, the strength of which depends on how long it's left to brew. Chicha isn't just a casual drink, it's a communal experience. It's most commonly consumed during social gatherings, celebrations, or important events. For the Waorani people, drinking chicha together is more than just quenching thirst, it's about bonding and sharing. With every sip, there's a deep connection to their ancestors, customs, and the earth that provides the cassava. The act of drinking it brings people together, blurring the lines between celebration and tradition, and using natural dyes derived from plants, the Waorani turn their skin into a canvas. One of the most commonly used pigments comes from the achiote plant, which produces a bold red color. This vibrant hue isn't chosen at random, it carries profound symbolism. The Waorani believe that the red pigment represents strength, power, and a direct link to their ancestors. The designs and patterns are not just aesthetic choices, they carry specific messages. The Waorani paint themselves for different reasons, each one representing a distinct emotional state or intention. For instance, a certain pattern might signify preparation for a hunt, while another might indicate that a person is ready for war. Body painting is not just a ceremonial activity, it's woven into the fabric of Waorani life. Every line and swirl tells a story, a history, and a purpose. In a world increasingly dominated by modern conveniences and disconnected from the natural rhythms of life, the Waorani's tradition of body painting feels like a return to something primal. It reflects a closeness to the earth and an understanding of the human connection to the elements. When you witness these intricate designs firsthand, you begin to appreciate the artistry behind each stroke, as well as the deeper meanings that often remain hidden to outsiders. The allure of the exotic is often found in the small yet striking details that define a culture's sense of beauty and identity. For the Waorani people of the Amazon, ear piercing and stretching is not just a fashion statement, it's a deeply ingrained part of their cultural heritage. In a world where beauty standards vary so dramatically from one region to another, the Waorani women's love for large earrings and stretched ears is a fascinating example of how physical adornments can reflect ideals of attractiveness, status, and tradition. Waorani women have long adorned themselves with large earrings, often made from natural materials, as a symbol of beauty and femininity. To the Waorani, the larger the earrings, the more attractive the woman is considered to be. The process of ear stretching, where the earlobes are gradually widened to accommodate larger earrings, is a tradition that has been passed down through generations. It's not just about aesthetics, but also about honoring their heritage and embodying the qualities that their culture values. The earrings themselves can be large hoops or wooden discs, and the gradual stretching of the ears is seen as a journey toward embodying the Waorani ideal of beauty. Interestingly, ear stretching is not exclusive to the Waorani. It's a practice shared by many indigenous cultures around the world, from the Maasai tribe in Kenya to the Hmong people in Thailand. Each of these cultures has its own reasons for stretching ears, and the designs and materials used vary widely. In Kenya, the Maasai often stretch their ears to hold beaded jewelry, while in Thailand, the Hmong people use large silver tubes. What ties these groups together is the belief that stretched ears are a powerful symbol of beauty, strength, and sometimes even wisdom. For the Waorani, the forest is not just a place to hunt and gather, it's alive with spirits that inhabit every tree, river, and animal. This animism shapes their spiritual life and daily existence, creating a unique relationship between the people and the environment. To the Waorani, every part of the natural world has its own spirit, or Olma, the rivers. The wind, the towering trees, and the jaguars that roam the forest, each is believed to possess a consciousness. This belief system drives how they interact with their surroundings. For example, gathering is not only a means of survival but also a sacred exchange with animal spirits, as the Waorani respectfully and sometimes ritually exchange the life of a creature for sustenance. In their eyes, everything is connected, forming a delicate balance between humans and nature. At the center of this spiritual web are the shamans. These figures hold significant power and influence in Waorani society, serving as the bridge between the physical world and the unseen spiritual realm. Shamans are not just religious figures, they are healers, guides, and protectors. While men in Waorani are primarily responsible for activities like gathering, tasks traditionally seen as central to their role, women, on the other hand, take on the essential responsibilities of gathering food, preparing meals, and raising children, but their contributions do not stop there. Women play an influential role in the community's decision-making processes. They are often key voices in discussions about the future of the village, the distribution of resources, and even strategies for handling conflicts. This level of participation creates a sense of balance between the genders, making the community function in a way that feels both structured and egalitarian. Even though the division of labor may seem rigid at first glance, the balance of power and respect between men and women ensures that each contributes equally to the survival and well-being of the community. One of the most interesting aspects of these gender dynamics is the role women play in romantic relationships. Unlike in many modern societies where men are often expected to initiate courtship, here, it is common for women to take the lead. They confidently pursue relationships, signaling their interest in potential partners. This approach reflects a cultural view of sex and relationships that is much more open and natural than what many are accustomed to. Childbirth among the Waorani is an intimate yet communal experience, reflecting the close-knit nature of the society. Unlike in many modern settings where childbirth may take place in a hospital, often surrounded by medical staff, Waorani women give birth at home, supported by other women in their community. This practice emphasizes the bond between women, as the older, more experienced women take on the role of midwives, offering guidance, care, and wisdom to the expectant mother. The process of bringing new life into the world is viewed as sacred, and the involvement of multiple women ensures that it is not an isolated or clinical event, but rather a communal one filled with care and shared responsibility. Fertility, in this context, is highly valued. Special diets are often followed by pregnant women to ensure the health and vitality of their baby. These diets may include specific fruits, plants believed to possess beneficial properties, reflecting the community's deep connection with nature and their reliance on it for health and sustenance. Fertility is not only about the continuation of family lines, but is also seen as essential to the survival of the community as a whole. Every new life strengthens the bonds within the group, and childbirth serves as a moment when the strength of the collective is demonstrated through the care and support offered to the new mother. Despite modernization and increasing contact with the outside world, many Waorani still adhere to their ancestral customs. Their daily lives are deeply rooted in traditions passed down through generations, such as gathering food from the forest and living in harmony with their environment. These practices are not only essential for survival, but are also integral to their cultural identity. However, the growing presence of schools, the influence of technology, and interactions with tourists have raised concerns within the Waorani community. Some fear that younger generations, exposed to modern conveniences and new ideas, may lose touch with their cultural roots. The older generations remain dedicated to preserving their way of life, while younger members of the Waorani community face a different reality. Education from external sources introduces new opportunities that can sometimes seem at odds with traditional ways. As a result, some young Waorani are caught between embracing modern opportunities and maintaining the wisdom of their ancestors. To address this challenge, some Waorani communities have made the conscious decision to engage with the outside world through tourism. By offering visitors the chance to experience their traditional lifestyle through guided tours, demonstrations of hunting techniques, and sharing stories, they generate income while also showcasing the beauty and value of their culture. These interactions with tourists, although carefully managed, serve a dual purpose. On one hand, they offer a controlled environment for cultural exchange, where the Waorani can educate outsiders about their traditions, values, and history. On the other hand, these exchanges help younger Waorani see the significance of their heritage through the perspective of curious visitors. In this way, tourism has become a tool for cultural preservation, helping reinforce the community's identity while also providing a sustainable way to adapt to the changing world. However, not all Waorani communities are open to outside influence. Some groups prefer to remain isolated, choosing to protect their way of life by living deep within the rainforest. This isolation is a deliberate decision, reflecting their strong desire to preserve their culture without the interference of modern technologies or outside ideas. The Waorani people are an indigenous group living at the headwaters of the Amazon rainforest in Ecuador. Originally nomadic gatherers, they began establishing more permanent villages after encountering missionaries and oil workers from the 1950s onward. The Waorani have a long history of maintaining their cultural independence in the face of outside influences, from historical empires to modern external interests like oil companies and missionaries. Over time, their territory has been reduced, and modern challenges such as logging, oil extraction, and settlement in the area continue to impact their land and lifestyle. Even as more Waorani people engage with the country's society and monetary economy, they continue to preserve many customs and maintain a deep connection to their territory. Today, most Waorani still rely on the land, rivers, and forests for most of the resources they need to live, including hunting and fishing resources, medicinal plants, and materials for ceremonial items. The Waorani, with an estimated population of around 2,000 to 4,000 people, live in small villages scattered across their ancestral territory in the Amazon rainforest. They have been granted legal rights to approximately 800,000 hectares of their ancestral land. While the Waorani people have legal rights to their ancestral land, the government manages the underground resources, such as oil and gas, which has sometimes led to discussions around environmental conservation and land use. The Waorani people live in a region that has long attracted attention due to the rich oil reserves beneath the forest floor. This interest has led to concerns about the impact on the Waorani way of life, as the rainforest is their home and provides essentials such as food, medicine, and shelter. The forest is also central to their cultural and spiritual beliefs. Potential damage to this land could have significant effects on their communities and contribute to deforestation in the Amazon, an area often described as the lungs of the earth. Oil extraction activities have been present in Waorani territory since the 1980s, but the western part, known as the Pastaza region, remained free of oil rigs. However, in 2012, the Ecuadorian government granted oil exploitation rights to Block 22, which covers most of this area. At that time, a group of Waorani elders visited other indigenous territories in northern Ecuador and witnessed the ongoing social, environmental, and health impacts resulting from decades of oil extraction. The elders returned home, shared their experiences, and the community became determined to prevent similar pollution from affecting their lives and land. The Waorani decided to create a map full of priceless things as part of their strategy to stop drilling in their territory. They began working with the support of two local partners, Alianza Cibo, a coordinating group that includes representatives from 4 indigenous nations in Ecuador: Cofan, Sicapay, Siona, and Waorani, and Amazon Frontlines. An international team of professionals from various fields who live and work alongside Alianza Cibo on various projects, ranging from installing clean water systems to legal protection. The Waorani people created maps to communicate their connection to the land and territory, with hopes of gathering support for their vision. This effort was tested in 2018 when the Ecuadorian government announced plans to sell new oil blocks covering over 7 million acres of rainforest, including part of Waorani territory, where these mapping projects had taken place. In response, the community sought to protect their land by taking legal action. With the support of organizations like Amazon Frontlines and Digital Democracy, the Waorani shared their map and message online as part of a broader campaign. Their map presented a different perspective, one that emphasized the area's rich biodiversity and cultural significance, highlighting concerns about the potential effects of oil extraction. In 2019, the court ruled that the government had not conducted proper consultation with the community. As a result, the oil block was withdrawn, protecting 500,000 acres of rainforest. This decision set an important precedent for indigenous action in Ecuador and beyond. The mapping process itself was just as vital as the maps created. It involved workshops in villages, where elders and youth came together to document cultural knowledge and environmental insights related to their land. This unity helped the Waorani prepare for their legal efforts, ensuring their actions reflected a strong collective desire to protect their territory for future generations. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us on this great journey. Leave your thoughts in the comments and like to help us. Remember to subscribe for more. See you soon.